Okay, so have you heard about this crazy shakeup going on over in Alien Worlds? It's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty major.
People are saying this could change how like online communities work like forever.
Definitely, especially if you're into the metaverse.
And we love to unpack stuff like this, so
Yeah.
this deep dive is all about these changes.
It's pretty significant. Yeah, even if you're just curious about where blockchain technology is headed.
Exactly. Now, for anyone who maybe needs a super quick refresher,
Sure.
Alien Worlds is basically a metaverse where you can mine cryptocurrency,
Right.
and then you can use it to, do metaversey things.
Metaverse things, exactly.
But what has everyone buzzing is this new system,
Yes.
and they're calling it the worker proposal system.
Right.
And it's all about these things called DAOs,
Yeah.
or decentralized autonomous organizations. Sound
Yeah.
complicated because
It can be a little bit, at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
But when you really get down to it, the basic idea is really simple.
Okay.
Imagine just like an online community that has its own bank account
Okay.
and its own voting system.
Okay.
And every single member gets a say in how things are run.
Gotcha.
That's basically a DAO.
So it's like we're taking power away from, say, a big company,
Yeah.
and we're giving it directly to the players, the users,
Exactly.
the community.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
And Alien Worlds was already using DAOs in some cool ways.
Yeah, they were ahead of the curve for sure.
Yeah, they were ahead of the curve, for sure.
This new system takes it to a whole other level.
Oh, absolutely.
This isn't just voting on should we change the color of this one thing? Yeah, we're not just talking about small changes anymore.
This is like
This is the big leagues.
players can propose and even build large-scale projects.
Exactly.
Right inside Alien Worlds.
It's wild.
That's crazy. Like, we could see entirely new games.
Yeah, new economies.
Economies, experiences.
New experiences.
All driven by the players.
All driven by the players.
That's insane.
It's really revolutionary when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental shift in how we think about online spaces and who has the power to shape them.
So I can definitely see where some listeners might be thinking,
Yeah.
whoa, this sounds a little intense.
Right.
Is everything changing?
Yeah. Is this going to change my experience?
But honestly, if you're happy with the core Alien Worlds experience,
Right.
nothing has to change. for you.
Exactly. You can keep doing your thing.
Right. Yeah.
This is really for those who want to get more involved
Okay.
in shaping the future of the metaverse.
So you're saying it's more like giving the power to the people who want the power.
Exactly. It's about providing tools and resources to the dreamers, the builders,
Right.
those who want to push the limits of what's possible in this space.
And they're doing it in a way that seems really well thought out, too.
Yeah.
Like, the source material really emphasizes security and trust.
Oh, for sure.
Like, those are the cornerstones of this whole system.
Yes, trust and security are paramount.
Yeah.
For example, they're partnering with a third-party platform called SumSub
Okay.
to verify the identities of key players,
Okay.
especially those who will be handling funds.
Which makes sense when you're talking about Trillium,
Exactly.
the in-game cryptocurrency.
You want to make sure everything is secure.
You want to make sure everything is legit.
Absolutely. It's about building confidence in the system.
Right.
If you're putting time and energy into a project, you want to be sure that the money is being handled responsibly.
Okay. That makes total sense.
Right.
But, how do they actually ensure that happens?
Well, that's where this really interesting arbiter system comes in.
Okay. An arbiter system.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
So think of it like this. Funds for these big projects are held securely.
Okay.
And before they can be used, an independent arbiter steps in to verify that everything is above board.
So it's like having a neutral party oversee everything.
Exactly. Like a referee.
To make sure that everyone's playing by the rules.
Precisely. This kind of transparency is super important. It builds trust, encourages accountability, and it just helps ensure that everything is fair.
So they're really trying to cover all the bases.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But this is where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Because apparently we're not just talking about one DAO.
Right.
This is where I started to get a little lost, to be honest.
Sure.
The source material mentions these things called Union DAOs.
Right.
And I have to admit, I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, it's a lot to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a lot of DAOs.
But the distinction is actually pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Think of it this way. So you've got these existing syndicate DAOs, right? Think of them like local governments.
Okay.
Each one managing affairs on their own planet.
Okay.
They've been around. They handle things on a smaller scale.
Right.
Union DAOs, on the other hand, are brand new.
Okay.
And they're specifically for these huge game-changing projects.
Gotcha.
The kind that affect The entire alien world's metaverse,
Okay.
not just one planet.
So it's less about like replacing the old system
Right.
and more about adding another layer on top for
Exactly.
these like bigger, more ambitious community projects.
Precisely.
Okay.
And that distinction is important
I see what you're saying.
because it allows both systems to exist and thrive.
Right.
You've got the established structure for planetary governance,
Okay.
and now this new system for the really big picture stuff.
Right, right.
The large-scale community-driven projects.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Good.
But these Union DAOs,
Yeah.
they don't just like magically fund themselves, right?
That's a great question.
Where's the trillium coming from to support these massive undertakings?
Well, it all ties back into the existing alien world's economy.
Okay.
Remember DTAP.
Vaguely, yeah.
That's the staking mechanism for the planets.
It lets players earn a share of the rewards from a planet.
Precisely. When you stake Trillium with a syndicate DAO, it increases the DTAP for that planet,
Okay.
which means more rewards for everyone involved.
Right.
And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
That DTAP,
Yeah.
it funds both the syndicate DAOs and these new Union DAOs.
Oh, wow. So it's like, it's all, it's like this interconnected web
Yeah.
where the success of one system like fuels the other one.
That's a great way to put it.
That's really interesting.
It creates this really cool cycle of growth and development.
Yeah.
And it's all driven by the players.
Yeah. And that's really what makes this whole thing so significant. Even if you're not like planning to build the next big metaverse game.
Exactly. This isn't just about one game.
Right.
This is bigger than Alien Worlds.
Okay.
This is about decentralized governance, moving beyond theory
Oh, okay.
and into real-world, high-stakes applications.
And you're saying.
Alien Worlds is like this giant experiment
Okay.
in how online communities can govern themselves.
Wow.
And the results could have huge ripple effects.
So this could change everything.
Potentially, yeah. It's like
Wow.
we could be looking at a whole new way of interacting online.
That's a lot to process.
It is.
It really is. It really makes you think, like, what if this is the start of something huge? What if Alien Worlds actually figures this out?
Right.
Like, they crack the code on decentralized governance.
Yeah.
And it starts this, like, chain reaction.
Yeah, and it spreads to other games, other platforms.
Across the internet.
It could be huge.
That's a lot to process.
It is, but for our listeners who are maybe a little bit more interested in taking action,
Right.
who want to get involved like right now,
Yes. Tell us more.
what can they do?
Yeah, what can they do?
Well, first of all, for anyone who wants to like really dig into the nitty-gritty details of how this is all going to work,
Okay.
Alien Worlds is going to be hosting a live Q&A session on X,
Oh, cool.
formerly Twitter, of course.
Right.
It's a fantastic opportunity to hear directly from the developers and, you know, maybe even pitch some metaverse ideas of your own.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But okay, let's say you're past the Q&A part.
Right.
You're ready to like really get your hands dirty.
You want to be in the trenches.
Yeah, you want to be in the trenches.
Well, there's another option.
Tell me more.
You can actually be a part of this system.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. You can throw your hat in the ring
Throw your hat in the ring.
to become a Union DAO custodian,
A custodian, exactly.
which is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
For anyone who really wants to like shape the future of Alien Worlds.
These custodians are the ones evaluating proposals. They're giving feedback to the project teams.
It's real work.
Yeah, it's a position of responsibility.
For sure.
But it's also an amazing opportunity
Right.
to be right there on the front lines.
Yeah, you're like shaping the metaverse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like shaping the future.
That's so cool.
If you're really passionate about this stuff, becoming a custodian could be an incredibly rewarding experience.
Okay, so to wrap things up for today for our listeners.
Yes.
The future is being shaped like right now
As we speak.
as we speak. And the best way to stay on top of it is to just stay curious, keep exploring, and maybe even jump in and be a part of it.
Exactly.
Who knows? Maybe you listening right now will be the one to build the next big thing in the metaverse.
It could be you.
This has been really interesting.
Thanks for having me.
I've learned a lot.
It's been a pleasure.